Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today we're doing a little product update speed review situation. So grab some coffee and let's get to it. I got my little basket here of products that I want to talk about, and it's not an insanely long list like normal, where we'll be here an hour. So hopefully we can kind of breeze through this and do a nice actual speed review. Okay, so I'm gonna start with skincare because I only have 2 things to talk about. What? I know, I usually have like 10 skincare items to talk about. Just the 2 things that I've been testing in the background and talked about in vlogs. First thing is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dew Drops. This has been out for quite some time, very, very viral, popular product, and you know, it's pretty nice. I have some thoughts and some caveats with this one. This is definitely not something that is made for everyone. I don't think everybody's going to enjoy this. I think if you have dry skin, you're going to adore this product. If you have oily skin, you're going to hate it because it does make your skin very glowy, almost a little greasy, not in a bad way, but just very juiced up, and you can definitely feel it on the skin. It's a very, very hydrating product, but it's not an oil or anything like that. It's a very different texture. It's like a serum that just doesn't really sink in and gives the skin this very wet, juiced up, glowy look. And it does play well under makeup if you are a little bit more oily. A very light hand with this one, or you might not like it at all, because it definitely will add to the oils on your skin. But if you are dry, I think you'll love this. I actually like it for no makeup days, when I'm not worried about whether my skin's particularly oily and I'm going for more of a glowy look. My skin can be very combo. Sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's oily, sometimes it's just in between. Lately, with the seasons changing, it's decided it wants to be a little bit on the drier side. And this has been a great little product to incorporate. I think a good rule of thumb with this one is less is more, because it will kind of end up being a little too much on the skin. So I usually just go with like 1 pump, and that is plenty. And I have really nice glow. My makeup sits pretty over top. But yeah, if you're wanting a more matte look to your foundation or your makeup, or you just don't like looking super duper glowy, you probably won't like this one. I don't find it to be overwhelmingly like watermelon scented either. Like, it does have a little bit of a fragrance to it, but it's not like I thought it was going to be. It's not nearly as strong and overwhelming. Let me just kind of give you a little example here. Squirt some out. This is what it looks like on the back of the hand. And it feels watery and doesn't feel oily, but it kind of gives the look of like you applied an oil to your skin. Can you see how like wet looking my hand looks? I don't know if that's going to show on camera, but it definitely has like a wet, juiced up look, and it will very much give you some glow. If you have dry skin, this will be like a godsend product for you. It will definitely give you some hydration. If you are super oily, avoid. If you have just combo kind of leaning a little oily skin like me, like half a pump, you could get away with, I would think. It does leave a bit of a sticky feeling to the skin. So this is definitely not something for everybody, but it definitely has a place in the market, and I do think that there are some people who are going to absolutely enjoy this one. It's just not something I want to reach for every single day. It depends on what I'm going for that day with my makeup look, rather than using it for the skincare benefits. Next, I want to talk about the Drunk Elephant C Firma Fresh Day Serum. This is their vitamin C serum. I think it is made with 15% L-ascorbic acid and ferulic acid, which are great ingredients. I am not that obsessed with vitamin C serums because they always go bad on me before I can use them up. But what's really cool about the Drunk Elephant one is that it comes to you packaged separately, so you can mix it up when you're ready to start using it, and it keeps it fresh. So when you get it and purchase it, it's not already gone bad on you. Like, it's gonna be super fresh. Anyway, this is a really nice one because it is packaged that way, and I like that about it. And I think it's a nice vitamin C serum. It does have that little bit of stickiness it leaves on the skin, like most vitamin C serums do. But this is a nice one if you're in the market for a new vitamin C serum. I don't think you'd be disappointed with the Drunk Elephant one. All right, that's all for skincare. Let's do hair. Let's go backwards. All right, I have 2 gels that I want to talk about from the drugstore. First, we have the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Frizz Control Sculpting Gel. This is the anti-frizz, flexible, flake-free, firm hold. It is a flexible firm hold for all curl types. I don't think this is the most effective gel on the market as far as hold goes. It's a very thin gel. It's very easy to apply to the hair without getting sticky and gross feeling. So it is nice in that respect. It just doesn't quite have quite the level of hold that I like. But at the same time, I don't hate it, and I found it to work fairly well. I just didn't get quite the longevity out of my hair that I can get with, say, like my Harry's gel. But yeah, this is a nice one. It does have the rice curl complex in it. Keratin amino acids, enzymes to hydrate and condition, protect, and enhance curls. I think it's a fine hair gel. Will I repurchase it? I don't know. It depends. But what I did enjoy about this one is that it is a thinner consistency. It's a little bit more watery, and it's easy to apply without feeling sticky on the hair. You can actually brush through it if you need to. It has some slip to it, where some gels just, nope, can't do it, isn't gonna work. This one, you can manipulate a little bit more, and if you need to like fix a spot where your curl was wonky, you can go in with your brush and fix it without it just getting crazy. And yeah, it's a solid gel if you're looking for something kind of medium hold. This one I would say it's a good one to look at. And I do believe Not Your Mother's is curly girl friendly. If that is something that you stick to, I don't bother. I kind of just use whatever product suits my fancy. Another gel I tried out just because I guess I like to be kind of disappointed sometimes. This is the Tresemme Mega Control Hair Gel. And this says it is a level 5 and it is in 24-hour frizz control with coconut oil for all hair types. Alcohol free. So I was kind of interested in this product because of it being the level 5, and thought, oh, maybe we'll get some good hold. Might find a little treasure here. It actually has like the same level of hold and feels the same as far as the consistency and thickness of it as the Not Your Mother's. Like, they are almost pretty comparable in just the feel and look on the hair. The ingredients do vary, where this one has, the coconut oil in it, which is nice. Yeah, I didn't find this one to do anything particularly special for me, be particularly impressive. It was just very run-of-the-mill, kind of meh gel. Didn't get great hold or definition from it, but it is one that you can brush through if you need that. It has a very slippy texture, so it is easy to work with, and it doesn't feel sticky and gross. And yeah, it's not bad. It's just not my preferred gel as far as looking for something with hold and doing what I want a gel to do. If I'm using a gel, I want it to make my curls and waves last for days and not have to refresh and, have nice definition. And I just didn't find that to be the case with either one of these gels. It was just kind of, they are right. They're all right, but I'm not going to go out of my way to purchase them again. Next is a curl cream from Kristen S. This is the Ultra Light Curl Cream. Frizz Taming Curl Hydrating Strand Strengthening, oh my goodness. Strand Strengthening Soft Finish for fine to medium hair types. This is fantastic if you have fine to medium hair. This does a great job. It is really actually lightweight, and it seems like it's going to be a lot heavier because it is a cream and it comes out of a squeezy tube. But no, it is so lovely, lightweight, definitely helps you organize your curl clumps, get that definition going, and get rid of the frizz and kind of do your brush styling. You got great slip with this. I treat this as like my leave-in conditioner or curl cream step, where I'll kind of take my Tangle Teaser, smooth everything out, and this does fantastic for that step. And yeah, it's really lightweight on the hair. My hair doesn't feel weighed down, oily, greasy, or anything. I have very low density, curly, wavy hair where it can go from like a 2A to a 3A. Anywhere within that region, I'll have spiral curls mixed in with just some waves, some straight pieces. My hair is kind of all over the place, so I try to get some uniformity from it. And this does help with that, and using it with the brush, the Tangle Teaser to smooth through, kind of gets everything looking a little more uniform with my hair. It really does help control the wet frizz. And yeah, this with some water, good to go. Great first step in the styling process. And I really enjoy this one. It really does help cut down on that wet frizz and continues to keep the hair hydrated and from getting dried out feeling and frizzy over the course of a few days between wash days. This one really does give good definition and allows you to style very easily. And yeah, I quite like it. And I found that it's one that I don't have to be careful with and worry about it weighing my hair down. It doesn't hinder volume at all in my hair. So yeah, I really do enjoy this one. Whereas some curl creams I have used, I can only do like just the teensiest amount because whew, it will feel like I have conditioner left in my hair, like that feeling. And you can just feel it, and it's heavy and kind of just mushy feeling. This doesn't do that at all. It is 10 out of 10 in my book as far as curl creams go. And I'm somebody who has to have a curl cream because my hair is very, very long and it is kind of more on the drier side. It is a little bit higher porosity with the low density, so I do need a little help with the frizz department and in the definition department. And that is definitely one of the few curl creams that hits all the marks across the board. Next product I want to talk about is the Dry Bar Crown Tonic. This is a product that is meant to be used as kind of a pre-shampoo treatment for scalp health, which is something I've really been incorporating lately, is like scalp health products. I love a good pre-poo. I love a good rosemary oil. Saturate the scalp with. I'm all about it. And I have seen some really good positive results from taking better care of my scalp. It is so much more balanced than it used to be. I was somebody who had a very itchy, oily, flaky, dry type of scalp that was somehow oily and flaky at the same time. Oily and dry at the same time. Like it was oily, it was itchy, very, very itchy constantly. But yeah, since I started taking better care of my scalp, I've noticed that my head doesn't itch anymore. And my hair doesn't get oily overnight anymore. Like I'm not nearly as dependent on the dry shampoo as I used to be. And yeah, this is one of the products that I have incorporated. I don't use this every single wash day. I do this one, maybe use this like 3 or 4 times a month. Not every wash day do I use this. And I tend to wash my hair maybe sometimes once a week, sometimes twice a week. It depends. And it really depends on how my scalp and hair feels, whether I incorporate this or not. But I think this is a great little step to add in for those reset washes when you're doing like more of a clarifying shampoo time, when you want to get all the product build up and everything off out of your hair and off your scalp. This is like the ideal time to use this. And I find that I don't have to use like a clarifying shampoo that is particularly strong and this at the same time. I can use this with whatever shampoo and still feel like my scalp is super clean without it feeling overly dry or stripped. This is meant to exfoliate the scalp, eliminate excess oil and flakes, and it definitely does a great job with that. And it helps with dryness and improve overall scalp health. It can also help soothe discomfort with probiotics, and it hydrates and rebalances the scalp. I think this is a really, really nice product. I do enjoy it. It has a nice little bit of a lather to it. It's got this great little scrubby on the end here. You can get right in there and scrub the scalp, get it good and clean. And it feels really good to use. And it smells nice. It does a great job. This is definitely one of those extra steps I think is worth incorporating. Now, you don't have to go out and run out and buy the Crown Tonic from Dry Bar. There's quite a few pre-poo treatments on the market now. Honestly, if you're looking for something a little bit more budget friendly, rosemary oil, just make sure it's one that's like made for hair. Rosemary oil, not something out of the Miel, I think is how you say the brand's name. They have a fantastic rosemary oil that's around $10. I use that as my pre-poo every wash day. I put that in either the day before or early that day and let it hang out on the scalp and massage it in. And I'm telling you, that has made the biggest difference in my hair health and scalp health, is incorporating pre-poo treatments and oils and just being a little bit more conscious of the skin, not just the hair itself. But yeah, this is a really nice item to incorporate if you were looking for something that's a little bit more expensive. It's not the cheapest thing on the market, but considering I only use it maybe 3 times a month, it's going to last me quite a while, and you do get a fair amount of product in here, and you don't need a whole lot. You really just focus it in the scalp area, and don't pull it through the rest of the hair, and you can go in with your regular shampoo. I like to not use one that's too harsh after using this, and I find that to be a really nice balance. And yeah, it does a great job. I can get the lengths of my hair clean with my other shampoo, and things work out. Or you don't have to let this sit on the scalp or anything. You can just go in, cleanse with it like you would with any other shampoo. So that's also a nice thing about it, is that you don't have to let it sit like you do with a hair oil. This is also really nice for not just wavy curly hair, but like good for just anybody who wants to look out for their scalp and take care of it. I've been getting my husband to use this as well because he does suffer from a dry yet oily scalp as well, and I think it's helped him out a lot too. So yeah, good product from Drybar. Not the cheapest thing in the world, but definitely a nice thing to incorporate if you are really into your hair, and I've definitely been really into my hair. One more thing for hair, speaking of shampoos, this little guy from Super Zero. This is a brand that is newer to Sephora, and this is a shampoo bar, and this one is made for blonde hair, specifically blonde and white highlighted hair, which I do have these highlighted chunks in my hair, and I like to use this to help brighten them up. And this is a great little shampoo bar. This is definitely something that I would use on the same day of using this. I believe this has pretty clean ingredients across the board, and it is the shampoo bar, and this thing has lasted so long. I am really impressed with the amount of use that I've gotten out of this, and I've been using it almost every wash day. And yeah, you just get a little wet with your hair wet, get in there, kind of scrub it around, massage it in. It does a great job. It really does cleanse very, very well without making my hair feel stripped or dry or anything like that. It's just a solid shampoo bar, and I like, well, obviously it's a solid shampoo bar, but it's a solid product, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think the purple in it does help keep my blonde bits a little bit less brassy, so that is nice. But I like the format of this product. I like that, it's kind of a zero waste situation, and yeah, and it's a lot more substantial than I thought it was going to be. It's a very solid feeling product. When you touch it, it feels almost like a bath bomb in texture, but it doesn't feel like a bar of soap. I was expecting it to feel more like just a bar of soap. And also when I got it, I thought, gosh, this thing is awfully small. This isn't going to last very long. No, this thing has been this size since I got it, and it is still going strong. I've got a slight bit of wear in it where I've been using it. This has been far more impressive than I expected it to be, and this made it into my favorites because I really did enjoy it that much. I really do enjoy it that much. I cannot wait to try more from Super Zero because they're a really interesting brand, and I like the whole vibe of the product. I like the shampoo bar situation. So yeah, I do believe I'm going to be getting a conditioner bar for them to try out. Let me get a drink of coffee here. Let's talk about makeup. First thing I want to talk about is this little product here. This is the Revlon Luminance Skin Caring Foundation. I didn't like this. It did not sit pretty on my skin. It emphasized every pore, every bit of texture I had. It made my skin somehow look oily and dry at the same time. It just did everything I didn't want a foundation to do. It's too dewy, as in greasy feeling, and pearly at the same time. I'm like, can we get one or the other? I don't mind the pearl being in a product. I don't mind a product being dewy. When you put them both together, it was just way too much on the skin, and the coverage level from here is not great. It just all around missed the mark for me and just did not look good on my skin. It clung to every little dry patch. Dry patches I didn't even know I had. It melted away in no time off my face and other parts. So it got really cakey, gathered in creases, and just got super patchy and congealed looking. It was not good. It was not a great experience. I tried to make this work for me so many times with different skincare, different primers, just no primers, no skincare, just to see what it would do. I tried it in so many ways. It did not play well with anything, and just really did not play well with my skin at all. It looked bad. And yeah, it definitely repelled off. It pretty much my skin was repelling it. It just, it did not work. It just broke apart in a matter of not even an hour, it looked like crap. Even on the days when I got to look the best, it was just not it. And for the price point, this is around $17. Not worth it at all. If you're looking for a good foundation at the drugstore that is around that price point, the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum is hands down better than this one. This was just incredibly disappointing product. Two more things here. CoverGirl, these little eyeshadow palettes here, the clean color palettes. I've talked about them a few times. And yeah, I still absolutely love these. I think they're a fantastic product. They are a little bit more expensive for CoverGirl, as in I think they're around $13 respectively. And you'd get 4 shades. They are talc free and supposed to be like clean ingredients, paraben free, fragrance free, vegan, and cruelty free. And you know, for all that and the quality of these, I think the $13 is totally worth it. I think that is a fair price point because the quality here is outstanding. The mattes are so silky smooth, blendable, like effortlessly blendable. These perform like some of the most expensive eyeshadows I have in my collection. Like they're up there with Charlotte Tilbury and Natasha Denona Good. Like I love the formula of these mattes. They're not dry. They're not super powdery. They're just kind of perfect. The pigmentation levels are beautiful. And yeah, I have Cool Berry and Dreamy Pink. Dreamy Pink is an exact dupe of Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury if you wanted to get your hands on that quad and didn't want to spend the money. Right here. And then Cool Berry is just kind of a cooler counterpart to it. And these can be mixed and matched and look so pretty together. I love the variety of textures you have in here. It's very similar to the way a Charlotte Tilbury palette is formatted, where you'll have some mattes, and then you'll have like a smoother shimmer, and then you'll have a shimmer with like some more glitter in it, and a bit more of a chunky formula. That these have that, where it has kind of that special shade in there, and the silky smooth metallic. And I love them. I think the metallics in here are so, so pretty. I have this one on my eyes today. I love it. These palettes are amazing. I still need to get more of them because I am just so impressed with the formulas here and the quality. A couple of mascaras that I have been testing out. First is the L'Oreal Telescopic Original. I love this. This has become my everyday mascara. I have it in the black brown shade, and it gives you just some pretty length, a touch of volume, nothing over the top crazy. And I just think it is just that perfect touch for the day-to-day when you don't want the lashes to overtake your face. Because I do have fairly thick lashes. They're just very, very blonde, so they don't show up very well. And when I apply a black mascara, it can look a little bit stark on me because I'm very pale, especially if I'm not doing makeup and stuff and just going with the lashes. It can look like a lot and look just a little too much, a little makeup-y. And this is kind of that perfect formula that looks natural, but still does a little something extra to where it just doesn't look like you tinted your lashes. It gives really pretty kind of Bambi-like length. And next we have the Falsies Surreal from Maybelline. This right here is the best drugstore mascara. This is what has filled the void that Bite Upswing left in my heart right here. This truly gives you like a false lash effect. I mean, lashes for days. It looks like you put on falsies. It is amazing. I can't say enough good things about this one. The formula wears really well. I haven't noticed any flaking from it. Nothing like that. Same with the telescopic. These are very long wearing formulas without being waterproof. And yeah, I really like this one. It's got a nice wand on it. It's easy to use. It's not anything weird and out of the ordinary. It's just a nice regular old wand, but it does something magical and gives me some amazing fanned out, voluminous, lengthened, crazy good lashes. This one has taken the place of the L'Oreal Telescopic Lash Lift in my collection. I think this one is better. A couple of things from Huda Beauty. First is the Creamy Coal eyeliner. This is a newer eyeliner that she has launched in black and brown. I have the brown one. This has become my everyday eyeliner. This is such a lovely formula. It's smooth. It wears super well without being hard to remove at the same time. It doesn't smear, it doesn't bleed everywhere. It doesn't have that longwear formula feel to it that feels kind of thick sometimes. This feels like a traditional old school eyeliner in the formula where it's just kind of soft and easy and blendable, but it has really good staying power. Creamy is a great description for this one because you can use it to create the most beautiful smoky eye. I love that. And the shade brown is just a really nice black brown type of shade where it's not too brown, but it's not black either. It's a nice in between, like pairing it with this mascara from L'Oreal. These are great for just the day-to-day when I just want a little something on the eyes, but I don't want to do the full shebang. And they also play really well with those CoverGirl eyeshadow palettes. But yeah, I'm really impressed with that eyeliner. Eyeliners aren't something I get that excited over. I've used a ton of eyeliners from Drugstore, high-end brands. And to me, most of them are pretty comparable. Like, as far as, like, a good eyeliner from the drugstore is not too far off from a good eyeliner from a high-end brand. The Maybelline Tattoo Studio eyeliners perform like the Urban K ones. There's not that much difference. And, yeah, but occasionally there's, like, a formula that comes along that I'm just like, that's a good eyeliner. Next is the Huda Luminous Matte Concealer. This probably isn't my favorite #1 concealer in the world, but it is also a really nice, flawless looking concealer. This is definitely getting into that more Shape Tape, full coverage type of formula that can be a little finicky depending on your skin type and your needs. This one I think looks really pretty and really flawless, very brightening on my under eyes, but I have to really make sure to tap out creases first. I've noticed when I apply this one, it definitely creases very, very quickly before I even get a chance to set it, so I really have to make sure to tap it out. But other than that, I think it's a really pretty solid concealer, but it's not something that I'm, oh my god, amazed with, but it's a nice concealer. I don't really think it's that luminous. It's not luminous in the way that it's like glowy or anything like that, like our new glowish ones or those products. This is more that glowy in the way, luminous in the way that like NARS products are light reflecting. It has like light reflecting pigment in it that just kind of diffuse and kind of help blur imperfections. That's what this one is, and it's a really good full coverage option. I don't find it to be particularly drying either. It just sits really nice on the under eye. You just got to make sure to tap out those creases before you set, because this one will definitely crease on you before you get a chance to powder it. And I don't notice that too often with concealers. And this one's one that I immediately noticed that I was like, oh, good God, we are creasing. But once I tapped the creases out, it was fine. I've done a full review and wear test with this one. You get great wear time with it. But it's not like something that I'm just like, oh my god, run out and buy it. Next thing is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blush Balm, Powder Blush Balm. I can't remember. This has such a long name, but I have it in the shade Golden Hour. This is a really pretty cream blush. This is very similar to like an e.l.f. putty blush in the way that it sits on the skin. It has that, it's more of a putty type formula where it goes on as a cream and then kind of goes into that more powdery feel as you blend it in, and it gives a very smoothing effect. These are ultra pigmented, which is one of the great things about it, is how strongly pigmented it is and how blendable and easy to work with it is. Like, you can shear it out and not have to worry about it looking too heavy on the skin. They're very easy. Even though they're super pigmented, they're still very easy to use. And the color range is really pretty. I picked the shade Golden Hour because I do like these kind of bright, almost sunburnt colors for the summertime. So that's what I had in mind for it when I picked it out. But yeah, I think it's a really pretty product. But you can, again, this is something else you can find at the drugstore. I think e.l.f. does have some comparable shades even to this. Just the pigmentation level of this is pretty strong. So that is definitely a selling point of this, is that it's going to be so versatile across the board for all skin tones. Like, it's gonna show up because you can build it and it looks great. Pat a little bit on your lips and do kind of a monochrome look. Very pretty, very easy to work with. For myself personally, I just really make sure I have a light hand with it, and it's great. And last thing is a powder from Wet n Wild. This is the 5-in-1 Essence Primer Plus Finish Powder. This is an interesting product. It says it claims to give you up to 10 hours of wear. I think maybe if you're using the primer way, it might, as in, applying the powder before you do your foundation, which is just not something I enjoy doing. Even on my oiliest days, I just don't, I don't like the way it feels. But that is definitely something you can do to make your makeup last longer. But this is meant to smooth, condition, refine pores, balance for pre and post makeup. I do like to use this as a finishing powder. I don't particularly love it for setting my face because it is very, very, very white. It is pretty much white with a slight yellow cast to it. Like it's kind of an eggshell color. And I find that that can look a little stark on even my skin tone, as pale as I am. So it's not something I can kind of really press into the skin and go in with to set my face. But I really enjoy it for brightening the under eyes and just kind of dusting around the face to kind of brighten up and make sure things are blended, buffed out as a finishing powder. I think this does a great job. It is a very, very soft, very, very finely milled powder. The powder itself feels very high-end and really nice. The packaging is very dinky, very, very skinny, and yeah. But this is a mica silica powder, and it has dimethicone in it, so it does definitely give you the smoothing effects. Like it will definitely disguise the look of pores when you apply it right into like your pore area. It's great for that as a finishing touch. So that's really where I enjoy using this one. But just as a setting powder alone, it's not my number one. But it's a good powder. It is just, it's very, very soft. I think you're going to have to be a little careful with this one. This is not one you want to throw in your purse. It's very delicate powder. And the compact is quite delicate feeling as well. So keep that in mind. But it does look very pretty on the skin as a finishing powder. I haven't tried it as the priming powder. But if you have, let me know down below how that worked out for you. I might give it a go during the summer when it's like really hot and humid. We'll see how it goes. But so far, I am enjoying this little powder. I think it's nice, especially for that finishing powder step. But yeah, it's nice powder. If you're at the drugstore, you just need a nice little finishing powder. You don't want to spend a ton of money on something that can to brighten the under eye. This one's really nice, especially if you have very fair skin, because a lot of brightening powders, if they're not in the pinky category, the ones that tend to be a little more yellow tend to be very yellow. And like I can't do banana powders. They make me look jaundiced-y. Like they're too yellow on me. This one is that right level of just a hint of yellow in there to kind of brighten up and cancel out stuff while still being just very much a brightening type of powder, because it is almost pure white and it's not really that translucent. So do keep that in mind that it is not going to like completely disappear. Like it does have a little bit of a color payoff. I would like to see them bring this out in some more shades, because I don't think, even though this one's supposedly kind of translucent-y, it's not going to work across the board for anyone with like a medium skin tone and up. It's going to look too bright. So I think they could bring this out in some other shades. I would really like to see it like in a light pink shade as well, for that kind of Givenchy pink brightening powder color. I think it would be beautiful and kind of the perfect formula for that. The perfect kind of type of product for that. I would love to see it in a light pink. And that's speaking for me as somebody who doesn't want to always add yellow tints to my under eyes. I'm all about this pink powder situation. I'm like, yes, finally. my pale skin can definitely go nuts on those pink powders, but I have to be very careful when it comes to anything with a yellow undertone. I think that is everything I wanted to update you on in this video. Thank you for hanging out with me, spending some time over here, having a cup of coffee together. And yeah, let me know what you think below of these products. Do you have any suggestions based on these products, thoughts, opinions? Have you tried them? Let me know all that below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.